What's up, G-Spree gang? Welcome back to Warden's Will. There is a brand new playtest out right now, and it is probably the greatest improvement from one beta and one demo to the next. We're close here. There's a lot of things that have been improved on. There's a lot of things that have been added, and I'm super excited to share and show you guys. But first off, if you're super interested in even applying for this playtest, if it's still open, but just more interested in seeing more of the community and seeing updates in real time, you can check out their Discord. It'll be linked in the description below, and you can also check out their Steam page and wishlist the game. And we have a release date of January 2025, which is next month. It's December right now. January, that's the next one. We're in 2 full months, we'll have it in our hands. All right, I had to swap my sweatshirt real quick because my green screen is red today, but let's take a look at some of these changes. Right away, but not that it matters a whole lot, we have some font changes, so it's a little bit more to their style of the kind of like simulation matrixy kind of thing. And they've also updated their UI and changed up their UI a little bit just to be a little bit more precise and a little bit, stylized. And a really big thing to note is when your Q is ready to use and your E is off of cooldown, it actually will show like a big red, like, hey, look at me, which is absolutely amazing. Super good quality of life change, because when you're in the battle and when you're in the fray of a lot of stuff, you're focusing on everything that's happening in, around, all that good stuff. It's hard to kind of realize when your stuff is off cooldown, so you're kind of just pressing buttons hoping that maybe your stuff is off cooldown and ready to use again. But we finally have a new gun, and it is called the Electro Lance, and it's what I'm using with hover right behind me. And this run was super successful. I had some unfortunate things happen to me at the end, which I'll cover here, but I'm using the Electro Lance, and I didn't think I'd like it at the beginning, but it honestly really grew on me. I'm not expecting this like at all. So the primary just shoots like a little shard of lightning, or like a lightning rod conductor, and then the right click shoots the lightning in between all of those rods that are placed, and it chains through all of those rods. It's really cool. And so it'll like branch off and shoot and hit nearby enemies, so you can cover a pretty wide range of damage. I also really wanted to mention, I don't think I mentioned it in the last demo that came out, but the transmitters look just absolutely beautiful. And in the last demo, when you charged them all up, they would actually move to like show you kind of where to go. I don't think they have that functionality in this one. They might have missed it, or there might be a bug, but I think the ultimate goal is that they do move. So we'll chalk it up to a work in progress, which this is a completely in progress demo that we're playing here, and I'm super happy to be part of this process. And right away, in stylizing of this game between the previous demos, there's a lot less color in the field, in the area that you're in the map. However, where there's a decrease of color and saturation, there is a lot more just detail, and everything just looks a little bit more defined, and I think I really do like it. It does fit, but I really do like the comic art style and the bright colors, but I'm just like a bright color fiend, so I don't melt my retinas too much because I have lights on in my room when I game, so I know that may be an issue for somebody that, games in the pitch black. But at the top right, we can very clearly see that we have 3 transmitters to go to, and then once we start them, we'll be able to see all of their progress. We have a super clear stage 1 marker, a super clear timer marker, and then however many gems we have, or whatever that resource is called that uses to charge the transmitters. And then they shifted it so that on the other side, on the top left corner, we have the money that we earn, our credits. They also changed the look and feel of your abilities, like your movement abilities, and then your health bar and shield bar. So the shield bar was just like a little addition at the end of the health bar, and now it's its own thing on top of the health bar, which is a super clear way to say, yep, I've got 10 max shield, it's gone right now, and I can see my health is depleting, but I've got my shield above it, which I know I have persistent, which is super clear. It's super nice to make that distinction. You can also see your shift, alt, and space come off cooldown, which is really nice. And the bottom right of the screen looks exactly the same, except now they have that UI flashes, flares that I was mentioning earlier. There's also an insane amount of progression and enemy difficulty ramping that happens, which was not super prominent in all of the demos apart from the very first initial Next Fest demo. So the initial Next Fest demo was 1 stage, and that was it. So they had a bunch of like enemy ramping, and it was honestly really difficult. It took me about an hour and a half to actually be able to beat a run, and then it took me even some more time after that to kind of get a hang of it and be able to beat runs consistently. And then after that, they kind of got easier and easier. The last demo that we had was mostly just to introduce co-op and be able to introduce a couple more stages. So there were 3 stages in the last demo. Co-op was added, and that was brand new, so everything was a little bit easy. And this demo is insane. This demo is hard. So right away, stage 1 is honestly pretty normal compared compared to the last demo, there's a lot more ramping in enemy spawn rates and stuff, which is totally fine, which by the end of charging all 3 of the transmitters, you will have those green gems left. So you will have more enemies than you know what to do with. You'll have more money that you can even spend on those terminals that you can use to buy augments, which is fantastic because you need to buy augments to actually be able to win this game. And we'll get to that in a second, which, yeah, there's going to be challenges in the future, and I would honestly love to do this challenge at some point, but being able to beat the game without augments is going to be something, it's going to be insane. We'll just leave it at that. So enemy ramping is quite insane because even towards the end of stage 1 and definitely on stage 2, you'll be introduced to these like gold purple-ish enemies, which are, they have more health, they do more damage. I think their attacks are a little bit more beefy in general, whereas there's this one blue guy you meet in stage 3. He's a big round dude who shoots out like blue balls, like I guess, that explode or something. I'm not sure exactly what they do. He has his evolved form of it, his like bluish gold or his purplish gold form of himself shoots multiple balls out at the same time. And then the basic rocket guys from stage 1 get more rockets, like a rocket shotgun blast when they shoot, and then obviously that more health. But with more health and a harder enemy, you get more gold, and you might even get more of those green gems. And then by the time you get to the 3rd stage, there are full purple dudes, which are just insane. They're bigger, they have more health, they do more damage, and it's just insane to have to deal with. And then by the time you get to even stage 4 now, yeah, there's a 4th stage. It's absolutely insane. There's just a lot of enemies everywhere, almost all of the time, and they are chunky dudes. This is why you need augments. And now the boss battles are different as well. So first boss battle is still the same with the big guy with the shield. Second one is still the same with the lady who has the hammer that she throws around, and she shoots stuff as well. And then the 3rd stage is still the both of them. And now the 4th stage, which I unfortunately fell through the map of, and so I wasn't able to actually figure out what to do for the 4th stage, but there was a lot of enemies around. They didn't take damage, but I found one guy that did take damage, and there was a blue bar that did go down, but then after I kind of figured that out, I fell down through a hole at the edge of the map and unfortunately had to end my run. But the kicker with these boss battles is you do not get to use your shift ability, you do not get to use any of your abilities apart from dashing and jumping, and then you use your gun. So it's complete gunplay, so you need these augments to be able to buff up your damage, buff up, maybe you get a rocket chance, maybe you get an electricity chance on hit, anything for when your gun is hot or overheated, or maybe give you an extra boost when you're in the air or on the ground, stuff like that. You need persistent bonuses, you need, you know, special effect bonuses to be able to deal with these mass enemies. And this is where I really liked this electric gun, because especially in the 1st stage where they summon in a bunch of those just regular old rocket dudes, you can shoot a bunch of those little pylons everywhere, right click, and then kind of everything just gets chain lightning damage. It's awesome. It's really cool. But I don't unfortunately have time to actually get the final boss done and maybe film it and get it ready to put it in the video because I have to help my sister move tomorrow. Oh, by the way, on the 3rd stage, I noticed that some of these turrets were purple. The turrets themselves were purple. And look at this. There was a boss fight. There was a boss. He showed up on the 3rd stage. And then the other boss, the one with the hammer and who jumps and shoots stuff, she shows up on the 4th stage. It's like, who invited you? Why are you here? They still got a bunch of health, and I've got to deal with you on top of everything else going on right now. Are you kidding me? And so here's a little bit thing that's a little bit new. It's really cool, honestly. So in the previous demos, they had these little necro rifts, I guess they're called now, that just showed up, and then a bunch of enemies would spawn, and then the rift would close, and then you'd go about your way after killing out all these enemies. Now there are necro rifts spread across the stage. You go up to it, you activate it, and basically spawn in all these on your own time, on your own means, which is absolutely fantastic. It's a great way to get extra money, great way to get extra gems, and a great way to just, I don't know, mess up some stuff and charge up your ultimate. I do really like that change in that addition because, you know, there's a lot of these that spawn, you can get a lot of money, and there is an augment that increases your damage per, I believe it's like 10 coins that you have, gets you like 1% more damage. So being able to get more money like that is really cool. Ooh, I also wanted to say they kind of, it feels like they reworked or they tweaked out, polished out a little bit the superhero landing. The superhero landing actually feels really good to use now. So I was using flyer for the most part, and hover I really like her superhero landing, but I was mostly using it for flyer. Now with hover, you just double tap shift and you shoot straight down at the ground and do a little shockwave. You do your superhero landing, and then as flyer, you kind of just aim down and hope you're not at too much of an angle, so you just boom, superhero landing. And it pushes everything out around you, and then it just does damage to them as well. But it's easier to execute than in previous demos, and it actually feels like it does damage, which it didn't really feel like to me it did in the first one. If that made any sense at all, the first demo, it didn't really feel like the superhero landings were as effective as they currently are, which I know it's something that they've been wanting to push because they mention it a lot. So I'm really glad that it's come to fruition and it actually feels like a superhero landing. And the only kind of thing that I have with it is it leaves you really vulnerable, especially when you get to like ending of stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. You do not have time that you can afford to sit there kind of stunned on the ground. So you don't really get to use the superhero landing a whole lot. And especially when there's augments that give you shield and health for it, I would like to be able to use that a little bit more effectively. Maybe if you get like a couple iframes when you hit the ground. I don't know. I think that's really all I have for all the new stuff. The game feels better than it ever has. And every single demo they released, we are just closer and closer to actually having a full product. And with the release of a 4th stage, I was so not expecting it, but I'm super glad that they've added more stages. I don't know what comes after that, I guess 4th boss stage that I fight, or that I got lost in, that I unfortunately fell out of the map in. So if that's the true ending, I don't really know. There could be a 5th stage, there could be a 6th stage. But I got to the 4th boss stage at about 70 minutes in my run, so I'm guessing that's kind of where the ending is going to be. And then I'm sure we'll see something like an endless run in the future, and then maybe like a souped up, more higher difficulty run, easier difficulties as well. I think difficulties and endless runs are kind of just givens in roguelikes like this. There's some like augments, like in the pre-game lobby, there's an augment thing that you can go interact with. So I'm curious to see where that goes, because it kind of sounds like you can unlock more augments and stuff. So there's going to be out of game upgrades and stuff, which I absolutely love. I love progression like that you can kind of bring stuff out of a run, soup yourself up, and then go into the next run a little bit more powerful than you did. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This has been an absolute blast. I love Warden's Will. I'm super excited to play more. I actually don't know how long this demo is running, so if you're interested in seeing more and seeing if you can grab a key for yourself, you can hit up that Discord. Again, it's linked in the description below. But you can at least see some progress and then get any new notifications as soon as anything happens or is announced. And then same with their Twitter. I follow their Twitter, I stalk their Twitter, and I stalk their Discord too. So, you can get information. It's readily available, but wishlist this game on Steam at the very least. It's absolutely amazing. What's up, gamers? This is kind of an end credits thing, kind of a behind the scenes thing. I have been trying to get footage just for one single minute. I wanted B-roll of like the stage 4 or stage 4 boss. So I replayed it. It took me about an hour. I beat stage 4 boss. Now I'm on stage 5. Stage 5 exists. How long does this go? I want to just beat it. I want to say I've beaten it so that I can put it out of my mind and just, not have to worry about anything. I can just play it not seriously. You just beat it once and then that's that. I have been trying to hold my own. Stage 5 is insane. So if you want to see more, if you want to see some gameplay of this, I will put some up on my Overstock channel. I'm just going to record quick. I just had to pause it, right? I have one telecommuter, whatever they're called. My brain is bugging right now. There's one left. I need to charge it. If you're interested in seeing some more, I will post it along with just my commentary on Friday. This Friday on the Overstock channel, where I post Wednesday and Friday until the end of the year, subject to change. But I would like to do just one video there every single week at least. Anyway, if you're interested in seeing more and just more commentary of this game while I play this game in, I guess, real time, head over there on Friday, check it out. But yeah, that's how I got this last minute of gameplay going on, which I'm going to put it over here. The only reason I'm still on this screen is because I do not want to have to deal with all of the editing required. Well, it's not really a whole lot of editing. I'm just a little lazy right now. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video thoroughly. This has been an absolute blast to make. And Eliseo, if you're still watching at this point, this demo is so amazing. Like, legitimately, I had not really high expectations, but I was expecting improvements, basically just basic improvements. I was not expecting a stage 4. I was not expecting a stage 4 final boss. I was not expecting a stage 5. I have You guys are insane. I'm super excited to see this on release, and I'm super excited to see what more you guys add. This has just been so amazing. Like, throughout the last hour that this run has been, I've just, you know, been working on my own stuff and just kind of chilling. The second I got to stage 5, I need to drop everything and just reassess everything. If you guys add anything like outside of the game in terms of like extra augments that you can unlock, holy crap, this is gonna go insane. I'm super excited to see what you guys do. So thank you. This has legitimately, I think, been one of my top 3 roguelikes of this entire year, so I appreciate you guys a lot. And anyway, for the rest of the people still following here, leave a subscription, leave a like, and we'll see you next Monday. And if you're interested again in more of this stuff, head to my channel on Friday. We'll post the commentary video over there. Okay, bye. I'm gonna stop talking now. This video is long enough. Have a good one. Bye bye.